Guten Tag! Heute mache ich Rosinenbrötchen. Today I am making raisin bread rolls. These delicious bread rolls are perfectly sweet and soft and tender on the inside, and they are a favorite of mine from Germany. So I'm going to show you my recipe on this delicious German classic. Let's go! Okay, so to make our Rosinenbrötchen, our raisin bread rolls, first and foremost, it starts out with the dough. So I have some yeast here, about 1 1/4 teaspoon. And to that, I'm going to add some more milk and a couple of tablespoons of white sugar. Now I'm just going to give that a quick stir. And then to that, while I'm stirring, I'm going to add 1 whole egg. Keep on stirring. And also, I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of melted butter. Adds some really nice flavor. And as I'm continuing to stir, I'm just going to add in my flour, just a little bit at a time, and basically just start to form my dough. So, and you could totally make this in a food processor, or if you had a mixer with a dough hook, it would be perfect as well. So I'm just going to add in the rest of my flour, just like that. And then we can see if we need to add some more. So you can always add more, but we don't want to make it too thick of a consistency. So I'm going to add a little bit more flour. Okay. Start with 1/4 cup more and just give it a nice stir. So as you can see, the dough is really starting to come off of the bowl, which is what we want. I'm going to add the other 1/4 cup, just like that, and continue to stir. This is when it takes a little arm power, yeah? But totally worth it. I love these bread rolls. And I find that they seem to be just as common as the regular Brötchen, which I am very happy about that. I find them in all of the local bakeries when we're in Germany, and I really love the taste of them. It's just something different, and especially when you're wanting something sweet but not too sweet, they're perfect. Okay, so now it's time to turn my dough onto my surface. So I'm going to take some flour and just rub it all over my floured create a floured surface. And then I'm going to take my dough and just dump it onto my floured surface, just like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit more flour and just dust the dough. Now this is where the kneading begins. So I want to knead it for about 7 to 8 minutes or so, just until it's nice and well combined. And then once I'm done kneading it, I'm going to let it rise for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then it'll be time to shape our delicious bread rolls and add the raisins. So good. So for the raisins, I rehydrated them just a little bit with some hot water. And then I'm going to add a little bit of almond extract to them, just like that. So, in the meantime, I'll keep kneading, and then an hour later, it'll be time to shape our bread rolls. So good. Okay, so it's been about 1 hour, and my delicious dough has been rising. Wow, it looks great. So, now it's time to add the raisins. So I'm just going to take a little bit of flour and dust it, and also dust my hands and the surface. And I'm just going to smooth out the dough so that I can prepare it for the raisins. And I am being quite generous with the raisins because I really like to have a Rosinenbrötchen that really has a lot of raisins in it. But you could certainly customize it according to your liking. And like I mentioned before, I rehydrated the raisins a little bit with a little bit of hot water and then some almond extract. They really have a nice flavor to them. I think it's going to make the Brötchen taste great. So what I'm going to do now is just literally knead these raisins right into the dough. So now that they are in my dough batter, I'm just going to kind of knead it all together so that it's well combined, just like that. And you see I have a lot of raisins in there. Just what I want. So, and you could totally also add, you can make like raisin and nut Brötchen. Could add something else to it, but I find that the Raisinbrötchen, trust me on this one, it's so good. right, that looks great. So now I'm going to start shaping my brötchen. So I'm going to take a little bit more flour and dust my surface a little bit more because the dough has become a little bit moist since I've added the raisins to it. And now what I'm going to do is cut it in half, and then cut it again, and then cut it again. And I'm gonna just start shaping my balls for the brötchen. And you can make these as big or as little as you like, but I am making them kind of small, so that way we can have more than one. And then what I've done is I prepared my baking sheet by lining it with parchment paper. So my brötchen are actually going to do a second rise, so I'm going to continue to roll out all of the pieces into these nice small balls, and then I'm going to let them rise again for another 15 minutes, and then I'm going to coat them with a nice egg wash, and it'll be time to pop them in the oven. So good. Okay, so my Rosinenbrötchen have been rising again during their second rise, and now, beautiful. They look so good. And as you can see, I've already started with the egg wash with some of them. And then also a couple of them I dusted with a little bit of cinnamon sugar. So for the egg wash, I'm just using 1 egg yolk that I've whisked together. And I'm just dusting or brushing the top of each of my delicious raisin bread rolls. Just like that. And this is going to create a nice golden coat for our bread rolls, which is what we want. So they already look so good. With the second rise, they plumped up so nicely, and the raisins just look so delicious. And I've already added a cinnamon sugar mixture to a couple, which is not traditional, but hey, I'm doing a little non-traditional twist today. So I'm going to do one more with the cinnamon sugar, because I mean, cinnamon, sugar, raisins, it's like a match made in heaven. So there we go. Just liberally sprinkle it right on. Now they are ready to go into the oven. They're going to bake for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then when they're nice and golden brown, we will have our delicious Rosinenbrötchen, our delicious raisin bread rolls. So good. So excited. Okay, so I have just taken my Rosinenbrötchen out of the oven. As you can see, they're nice and golden. They look so good. And they're nice and soft. When you squeeze them, they bounce back. So that's exactly what we want. Nice and soft raisin bread rolls. So simple and so good. So thank you so much for checking out this video on how to make Rosinenbrötchen or raisin bread rolls. I hope that you enjoyed watching it and that you give it a try for yourself in your own home kitchen. And until the next video, I can't wait to see you next time. See ya!